All right, so we're back for another deep dive, and today
Hmm.
we're going somewhere cold.
Yes, we are.
We're going to Antarctica,
To
which
Antarctica.
is pretty exciting. We're going to be talking about some structures that have been discovered
Yes.
in satellite imagery,
That's right.
and those structures are being said to look like
A castle.
castle,
A
yeah,
castle, yeah.
which is a very intriguing claim. So we're going to be diving into an audio clip that lays out the details of this discovery.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so this structure they're saying is 400 feet across,
Okay.
and it's oval shaped,
Mm.
and they say it looks like those medieval castles,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mott and Bailey.
Mott and Bailey. Yes.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, that's basically a fortified structure with a raised mound,
Right.
which is called the Monty,
Okay.
and
Well,
an enclosed courtyard, which
yeah.
is called the Bailey. Yeah. And the intriguing part is that this is located in a region that's currently buried under 2 kilometers of ice.
Wow, 2 kilometers of ice.
Yeah.
So how were,
Over a mile.
yeah, how is that even possible? I mean,
That's the question, right?
yeah, I mean, isn't Antarctica just supposed to be
That's what's so
this
intriguing.
untouched, pristine wilderness?
Yeah, it really challenges the way we
Yeah.
think about it right now.
Yeah.
And you're probably thinking, how did they even find this thing under all that ice?
Right.
Well, that's where satellite imagery comes in.
Oh.
It allows us to kind of peek through the ice and to map the terrain underneath,
Right.
and that's what they're using. And this structure is just sticking out like
Yeah.
a sore thumb.
So it's not just like a random bump in the ice, it's something that's
No.
symmetrical.
Yeah, it's symmetrical
In an-
enough to actually look like
yeah, it looks like a structure.
a potential structure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this is so interesting. Yeah. And they also initially, scientists thought that it was a natural formation,
Okay. Like what kind of natural
They
formation?
thought it was a sastrugi.
Sastrugi.
Sastrugi, yeah. And, those are ridges
Okay.
formed by wind erosion in snowy areas. But the thing is that the source says that sastrugi don't usually appear in such a distinct oval shape.
Right?
They tend to be more elongated
Yeah.
and follow the wind patterns.
Okay, so this castle shape is kind of
It's an anomaly.
an anomaly, yeah.
Yeah.
For a natural formation.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, this is pretty cool already, but
Well, it gets better. There's more.
yeah.
There's more.
Okay.
So they bring up this Piri race map.
Okay, I've heard of this.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's this Turkish map from the 16th century,
Right?
and it supposedly shows Antarctica,
Okay.
like accurately.
Hold on. So a map
Yes.
from the 1500s is showing Antarctica.
Yeah, before it was discovered.
Before anyone knew it was there.
Yeah, supposedly.
That's crazy. What's the story with this map?
Well, it's kind of an enigma.
Okay.
It's based on some older source maps, some even going back to antiquity.
Wow.
And some people think that these older source maps, they might have incorporated knowledge from ancient civilizations,
Okay.
potentially even ones that had explored Antarctica before it was covered in ice.
So we've got this potential castle or structure under the ice. We got this map that maybe shows Antarctica before it was supposed to be known.
Right.
And you're kind of suggesting that this is hinting at an ancient civilization that was in Antarctica.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, this is already pretty wild, but there's even more.
There's more.
Okay.
They also found what looks like a pyramid.
What?
Yeah, a pyramid-shaped structure also in Antarctica.
No way.
Yeah.
So there's 2 potential man-made structures under the ice.
Yeah.
I'm getting less skeptical by the minute here.
Well, let's hear what the expert has to say.
Okay.
The audio clip introduces us to Ashoka Tripathi. He's from the University of Kolkata.
Okay.
He's an archaeologist, and he's looked at the images,
Hmm.
and his assessment is that they offer strong evidence of an ancient human settlement.
Wow. So a real archaeologist is saying that these images show a settlement.
It looks like a settlement.
Yeah. That's huge.
It is significant,
Yeah.
especially given his reputation.
Yeah.
But, even he acknowledges that there's a puzzle here.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
These structures lie under 2 kilometers of ice.
Right back to the 2 kilometers of ice.
Yeah.
How could any civilization
I know.
build under that?
It's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
That's the mystery.
It really is.
If these structures are really man-made, then we have to rethink what we thought we knew
Right.
about ancient civilizations and Antarctica itself.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that right after this break.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Before the break, we were talking about how these discoveries, if they're verified, could totally change what we think we know about ancient civilizations and even about Antarctica itself.
Yeah, the idea that there could have been settlements
Yeah.
in Antarctica like thousands of years ago
Yeah.
really changes things.
It really does. And I'm thinking, like, what if Antarctica wasn't always
Yeah.
this icy wasteland? I mean, are you telling me it was like a green paradise at some point?
Well, there's growing evidence suggesting that it might have been ice-free at
Yeah.
some point in the past and could have even had a temperate climate.
So, like, trees and plants and stuff?
Yeah, lush vegetation.
That's why. What kind of evidence do they have for that?
Well, they found fossilized remains of trees
Okay.
and plants
Yeah.
in Antarctica.
Mm.
And that means it must have been a lot warmer
Right.
back then, right?
Yeah.
And there's also geological evidence
Oh,
from
yeah.
sediment cores and rock formations
Yeah.
that shows there were times when it was warmer
Mm.
and even had liquid water.
Wow. Okay, so there's real scientific proof that Antarctica might have been
Yeah, it wasn't
a
like that.
giant ice cube.
But how does that tie into the ancient civilization idea?
Well, if Antarctica was actually habitable back then
Right.
humans could have gone there and
Yeah.
settled and built stuff.
Okay.
And these structures we're talking about could be what's left of those settlements.
Wow. That's incredible to think about, like a hidden chapter of history
Yeah.
just frozen in time. But then there's the ice again, right?
Yeah.
2 kilometers of it?
Yeah, the 2 kilometers.
How could they build anything under that much ice?
That's the question.
I know.
And even Ashoka Trapathy,
Right.
the archaeologist we talked about,
Yeah.
he says it's a real puzzle. If
Wow.
these structures are man-made,
Right.
it means either they had technology
Wow.
that we don't even know about,
Yeah.
or the ice sheet was way thinner,
Okay.
or even gone back then.
So crazy advanced technology and ice-free Antarctica, or both?
Maybe.
This is like something out of a movie. It's pretty wild, right?
It is.
But, we have to remember, these are just preliminary findings.
Right.
We need more research
Yeah.
to be sure what these structures really are.
Okay, well, speaking of needing more research,
Yeah.
what about that Peary race map?
Oh, yeah.
Does that give us any clues about an ice-free Antarctica and this ancient civilization idea?
Well, it's a fascinating piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Some people still debate about how accurate it is.
Yeah.
But it definitely shows Antarctica
Right.
way before anyone was supposed to know about it.
Yeah, like hundreds of years before.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that raises some questions.
Like, what kind of questions?
Well, how do they know about Antarctica's coastline
Right.
if it was covered in ice?
Yeah.
Some people think that they used older maps
Oh, okay.
for a time when there was no ice.
So if the Peary race map is accurate
Yeah.
and shows an ice-free Antarctica, and if those structures are man-made,
Right.
it would really support the ancient civilization theory.
Exactly.
So all the pieces are starting to fit together.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah, and, we've only explored a tiny part of Antarctica.
Right.
Who knows what else is out there?
Who knows what's hidden under the ice?
Yeah, more structures,
Maybe.
more evidence of this ancient civilization.
Could be.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
But we have to be careful
Yes.
not to jump to conclusions.
We need more evidence
Yeah.
before we rewrite history.
Right. But it's hard not to get carried away.
I know.
It's like Indiana Jones meets real life science.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So what's the next step in all of this?
Well, first we need to verify these findings.
Okay.
We need scientists to go to Antarctica,
Right.
examine those sites, and do some serious research.
Yeah.
Use ground-penetrating radar and all that.
Like really get in there.
Yeah, and if what they find confirms the
Yeah.
initial findings,
Yeah.
then it opens up a whole new area of research.
Yeah.
In exploration, we might even be able to excavate.
Imagine that, seeing those structures up close.
Yeah, and learning about the people who built them.
Yeah. It would be like stepping back in time.
It would be amazing.
But Antarctic exploration is tough.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
It takes a lot of resources
Yeah.
and people working together.
But the potential payoff is huge
Oh,
if
yeah.
these discoveries are confirmed.
It could change everything.
Yeah, it could revolutionize our understanding of history,
Right. It could challenge everything we thought we knew.
about ancient technologies, about timelines.
Yeah, about human history itself.
But we gotta be patient.
Yeah.
Let the scientists do their thing. I'm definitely gonna be following this story,
Me too.
waiting to see what they find next.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So to everyone listening,
Yeah.
stay curious, keep exploring.
Keep asking questions.
You never know what incredible discoveries are waiting out there.
Sure.
Not just in Antarctica, but everywhere. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And we're back, wrapping up our deep dive into those mysterious structures down in Antarctica.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
It really has. We started with some satellite images and a potential castle under the ice, and now we're talking about ancient civilizations,
Right.
maybe ice-free Antarctica,
And a mysterious map.
and a mysterious map from the 1500s. It's a lot to take in.
It is. And it really makes you think how much we still don't know about our own planet.
It really does. I mean, there's so many what ifs here, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what if those structures really are man-made? What if Antarctica was green and habitable?
What if we're totally wrong about ancient civilizations and what they could do?
Exactly. It's mind-blowing. And I know our listeners are probably wondering,
Yeah.
what can we do to learn more about this stuff?
Well, the good news is there's a ton of information out there.
Oh, yeah.
You can start by looking up the Piri-Reis map online.
Okay.
There are high-resolution images of those Antarctic structures you can find. And you can read what researchers like Ashoka Tripathi have written about all this.
So do your own research.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't just take our word for it.
Right. Look at the evidence,
Yeah.
read different opinions,
Yeah.
and come to your own conclusions.
And hey, maybe you'll even discover something new.
That's the fun part.
It is. It really is. We started today talking about penguins and ice.
Yeah.
And we ended up on this incredible journey through time.
That's how it goes sometimes.
It really is. And it just shows you that exploration and discovery never really end.
And that's what makes it so exciting, right?
It really is. So to everyone listening out there, stay curious.
Keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep asking questions.
You never know what you might find.
And who knows what other secrets Antarctica is hiding.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the mysteries of Antarctica.
See you next time.